championship team. You may be guessing NFL veteran Scott Turner, but we have so much talent to brag on in this caucus and athletic pedigree that we have extended beyond Scott Turner's fine background and history in the NFL to move towards another individual that can paint a very famous picture in this distinguished picture of Coach Holtz, from not just a picture of his experience with him and playing for him, but literally a picture as Coach Holtz was being carried off the field in January of '89 at the Fiesta Bowl with his index finger in the air. Two players hoisted him on their shoulders, and one of those players is our own representative from District 106, Pat Fallon. So come up, Pat, and give your introduction to Coach Holtz.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. I think I should start by being very honest and let you know that I got 1 hour's sleep because I was very nervous because the coach is here. You want to do a great job introducing him. But ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor. I want to thank the caucus and all of these sponsors as well for bringing Coach Holtz here. And it is an honor because Coach Holtz is an amazing person. He's not only a man of determination and drive and accomplishment, but he's also a man of humility and kindness and humor. And I remember a lot of the sayings that Coach had when we were players, and we call them Lewisms. There's ones that just, they stick with you, and I want to share with you my favorite three. One of them was at the beginning of the season, a lot of times at the beginning of practice, he might say, gather us all around, and he'd say, "Men, we're all united in a common goal, to keep my job." And another one was, if you may have run a pattern wrong or done something, and he would playfully come up to you and say, "How do you know what it's like to be stupid if you've never been smart?" But my favorite one that has stuck with me throughout the years was, he'd say, "Men, do your best, do what's right, and treat others like you'd like to be treated." And Coach Holtz's accomplishments are many and they're beyond impressive. He's coached at 9 different major universities. He's been the head coach at 6 different schools. He was an assistant in the 1968 Ohio State team under Woody Hayes that won a national championship. And 20 years later, as the head coach of the University of Notre Dame, he coached us to yet another national championship. He's the only coach in college history to lead 6 different teams to bowl games. He's also the only coach to be at the helm of 4 different teams that finished the season ranked in the top 20. In 2008, the University of Notre Dame immortalized him by unveiling a statue outside our stadium. And he was also, in September that year, inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. He's had a tremendous amount of success in other fields, and as noticeable as those all are, the coach should be the first one to tell you that it's not only your accomplishments that define you, it's also your character and how you treat other people. And how you treat other people, particularly when no one else is watching. And he'd say things like, in life, each life, we're like a capital ship on the water, and we leave a wake. And sometimes you don't see that wake, and how you affect other people. And the most interesting thing that he would say back then was he didn't see himself as a football coach first. He saw himself more as a teacher, someone that would teach and mentor and instruct and guide young men not only to become better football players, but to become better people in life. I'd like to share with you 3 quick examples. Each year, Coach Holtz and staff would bring us into a team meeting, and there would be no media there, there'd be no guests, and they would emphasize education, the importance of it. And they would cite statistics. They would say, "Ben, look, there's 3,000 players that are going to graduate every year out of college, and only 300 of them are going to get drafted. There were 12 rounds back. And of those, only 200 are probably going to play in the NFL. And the NFL, guess what? The average career is only 3.5 years long. So you're 25 years old, your football career is behind you, what then? You're here for an education first, and play football second." And as important as that lesson is, it didn't have anything to do with succeeding on the football field, but it had everything to do with succeeding in life. And another example, I can remember in a nondescript day in spring football in 1988, him at another team meeting telling us, tackling the issue of prejudice. And not racial prejudice, because we really didn't have that problem, because we were a team and we were a family, but prejudging people, and prejudging them for the wrong reasons. And he said, I can distinctly remember it, what about when that pretty girl on campus drops her book? She'll go right over there and help her with it. But what about someone else? Doesn't matter if they're tall, short, young, or old, we do the same for them. He said, I hope so, because you should. And that lesson didn't have anything to do with succeeding in football, but it had everything to do with succeeding in life. And the final example is one that's near and dear to my heart. We were in spring ball, it was in March of 1989, and he talked to us for the better part of an hour about how important it was. He cajoled us, he motivated us, he inspired us to write a letter home to our parents, particularly to our mothers, to tell our mothers how much we love them, we respected them, and we appreciated them. And you had to be there because it was very moving, and it worked. As soon as that meeting let out, I took a beeline back to my dorm room, found a pen, and I wrote a letter which I thought was going to be about 3 paragraphs, that ended up being 3 pages. And I put a stamp on the envelope and I sent it to my mom. And about a week later, I got a phone call from her, and she's in tears. And she said, I just got your letter and I read it, and I want you to know how grateful I am. And she asked him, she was a little worried, she said, why did you write this? Because it is a lot for a 20-year-old college kid to write a letter home out of the blue to his mom. I think she might have thought I was getting kicked out of school and I was just trying to soften her up. But that lesson had nothing to do with succeeding in football, but it had everything to do with succeeding in life. There's been about 1,500 players that have played, and more so in my case, practice under Coach Holtz. And Coach, I think I speak for every one of them when I say that you taught us, you mentored us, you inspired us. I'm the man I am today for many reasons, because of many people. And without question, one of those people is you. I wouldn't be here where I am today had I not been one of those people that had the good fortune to encounter your wake. And Coach, I try every day not to let life pass me by. You left a tremendously large life footprint and helped and encouraged and inspired more people than you can ever know. And there's no doubt that this world is a much better place because of who Holtz is in it. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome a gifted teacher, an unequaled mentor, a best-selling author, an award-winning broadcaster, a stellar corporate pitchman, a renowned motivational speaker, a successful businessman, a generous philanthropist, a stalwart conservative, a dedicated family man, an unwavering patriot, and a Hall of Fame coach, Holtz.
Please sit down. I always think you're getting up to leave when I got to tell you, Pat, I am overwhelmed and humbled by that introduction. That's a type I could listen to all day, and just like you, I thought I was going to have to. Well, consideration. Oh, I'm delighted to be here in the great state of Texas. Nice congratulations. Pat sent me an awful lot of information on the different people here. The time doesn't allow me to talk about each and every one of them, but I do want to say this about Pat. Pat was an integral part of our football team. I had great confidence in him. Every time I saw him on the field, I knew for sure we were going to win because we're usually ahead by 40.